comes down to who has the better 8-4. I really think that's what.
Yeah, absolutely. So should be a very close race. As I mentioned, they are underway in SRL. Still haven't gotten underway as far as the stream goes, but no worries there. But yeah, I think this will be a super close race, and there we go. We're going to get them synced up after 1-1 as well. But they both decide to power up in 1-1, so jtknott definitely not going with PV strats where you would power up in 1-3 and 1-4. Instead, he will power up in 1-1 and 1-2, as will London.
It is definitely the faster strat to go with 1-3 and 1-4. It is aggressive, but you're really only talking maybe a second or two difference between powering up early versus later. And when you're in a race format where you have one chance to get this right, you're going to see safety prevail a lot in where you would see more aggressive runs as world record attempts or low time attempts you would see like these runners would do.
Certainly. So there is the power-up grab for London and also for jtknott. And both runners going through the Koopa Goomba section here and hopping over the Goombas and sniping some Piranha Plants out of the way. So both off to a very comfortable start. We'll see what time they get on the pipe exit. 352 and 353 for jtknott. So he will actually have a 347, while London would have gotten a 346. That 6 in the ones digit would have given him 6 fireworks, which would cost him about 3 seconds. So he did a little brush on the stairs to avoid getting a 346 on the timer.
And in 1-1, JT had to slow down a little bit too, so that's where he fell behind quickly. But now we're back to neck and neck pretty much here coming in. Still a lot of race to go, so we'll see what happens. Pretty clean World 1 so far.
Yeah, absolutely, and still need to get up the sync here. So there is a little bit of a discrepancy here in the timers, but it's only a second or so. And if the race finishes closely, we'll be okay. But both runners in 1-4 right now, and just got to get the fire kill on Bowser. It is faster to kill Bowser with fire. And that is because you don't have to wait on the animation of the bridge collapsing and then Bowser falling into the lava. Instead, you touch the axe and you go right over to hang out with our friend Toad.
What an impressive kill by jtknott there, getting up and over and getting the quick kill with the forward Bowser there. Usually you'd see people slide under. He went up and over aggressive at that one, so that is going to give him just a little bit of an advantage here on London to have slower kill.
Yeah, and 2-1, little bit of some tricky spots. You got maybe a couple tight jumps depending on how you play it, and some Piranha Plants to snipe out of the way. You want to end this level optimally with a 345 on the timer, and both runners get exactly that. So perfect 2-1s for both runners. Both also have 22 coins as they go into 2-2.
In sync at this point, and JT is only 1,000 points off more than London, so these guys they are in sync right now.
Certainly. So 2-2, our first water section. There are a couple different strategies you can use as Big Fire Mario. You can either shoot the enemies out of the way with your Fire Flower, which both runners are opting to do here, or you could do what is called the Crouch Swim. That'll be where you duck as Mario lands on the ground in the water section, and that'll turn Big Mario essentially into Small Mario hitbox, but he won't have use of the Fire Flower, so both runners opting here to use their firepower.
The beautiful thing about the Warpless category is, as optimized as the top level is, there are still different ways to get to these ends of the levels optimally, where it's whatever strat you're going to feel more comfortable with. You'll see that in other levels here coming up, 4-2 for example. But just the diversity to get around the same really, really good time is what makes this unique as opposed to an any percent run.
Yeah, definitely, and we are in 2-3, so you're going to have all these cheaps. If the runners don't know what frame rule they are on, or basically what time they started the level, they won't know the patterns here, so you can get some random cheaps, and there is one that's really tough, but neither of them get that particular cheap, and both ending with a perfect 240, now heading into 2-4.
Okay, so the second castle, you're going to see some Podoboos here to start, and a couple of fireballs. Keep this level in mind as we get in. There is going to be a tough trick here, a duck jump, we call the elevator jump, where you're going to duck, lower your hitbox so you don't bonk and get through. London taking a different strat going up and over, though, but JT beautifully executed. London not far behind.
Yeah, the 261 versus the 259. That means approximately a 2-frame rule difference in that level. So about 0.7. 1 in-game second doesn't exactly correlate with 1 frame rule, but it's a close approximation. Usually it's give or take 1 frame rule in either direction. But we are now in 3-1. Trickiest part of this level is the stairs at the end. There will be 2 Koopas, and there's a couple different ways to play them. We'll see how jtknott does it. Shoots the first over the second, and London shooting the first and shooting the second. So you got to see both methods of doing the no slowdown stairs at the end of 3-1.
And same finish on the timer, perfect 3-1. So playing very well right now. Both runners are.
Yeah, and we are now in 3-2 with the infamous thank you Goofy strategy. We'll see if anybody does that. Of course, you do the sorry Goofy strategy.
Goofy, never heard of him.
So let's see. There you go. You heard the dot dot dot, and jtknott shot fireballs exactly in line with the music there. That actually will despawn one of the Goombas right in front of the stairs, and that gives you just a little bit more room to kind of climb the stairs comfortably. London not doing that, but he still climbs the stairs with no problem, despite having 3 Goombas in front of the stairs.
All right, 3-3 here is a fairly basic level. A couple of jumps there that can get a little hairy at the beginning, but for the most part, straight through, get these 2 Koopas. This is going to be a 60 on the flag for a perfect level, and we are on to the 3rd castle. We're already 3 worlds through this run, jtknott.
Yeah, this is where RNG can start to come into play a little bit. It depends on if these runners know if they'll be on a specific frame rule, what pattern they'll get. And I think jtknott knows what frame rule he's on because he did a buffer jump there at the start. So I'm assuming he's on the spreadsheet. He decides to slow down, so maybe not. So both runners taking the Potaboost safe. Either JT knew what frame rule he was on and decided it was a bad pattern, or he just decided to play it safe. But both runners getting 258s, so pretty much all square in that level as well.
One thing that you saw at jtknott there that I'd like to highlight is when he gets to that Bowser fight, you'll see him jump into that platform. That actually will stop Mario full, allow him to get a quicker kill on that with some fireballs, where you saw London actually have to pause, and when you're pulling backwards like that, you really don't get the fireball shot like that. So that is just a little bit faster to intensify.
Yeah, for sure. So both runners into 4-2 now, and 4-2 is always the debate of do you go the top route or do you go to the bottom route? Spork, what route do you prefer?
I would love to say that I'm team top route, but if you guys were here about an hour ago, that was not the case. But I like to take the safe route there. Bottom route is the fun route if you get your snipes in, and just a smidge faster, so...
Yeah, smidge faster on frames. Oh, and we do see London take a bonk there. Smidge faster on frames, but not actually faster in frame rules. So you will end up on the same 21 frame window, and that actually will get you to the end of the level. Even though it's a couple frames slower, it'll get you to the end of the level and to the start of the next level at the same time as another runner.
All right, and they're both through clean, and we're on to 4-3. jtknott, would you like to talk about Sky Boots?
Yeah, Sky Boots occurs if you do not slow down through the whole level, and then you jump off a very specific... Ooh, and we also get the sound glitch from jtknott. I love it. So he shot the fire right into the flagpole at a specific time where it glitched the sound out. But so the Sky Boots basically don't slow down, jump in the 2-frame window, and Mario will be 1 pixel above the block at the end of the level instead of resting on the block, and that'll save 2 frames, which is enough to save a frame rule, a 21-frame window, so he will actually save 21 frames by getting the Sky Boots.
All right, so 4-4 here is going to be our first maze level. You're going to see them go a very specific route. That is the only way you can advance in this castle. Otherwise, you're stuck in an infinite loop. Great job by both of them maintaining speed, having to go backwards through there. This is a very tough Bowser fight with the Potaboo and the Fire Bar the way that it is. But both very cleanly, 347. Beautiful job. We are halfway through this run. All right, now into World 5. This is where it's going to start to pick up in the difficulty here. World 5 is the run killer for a lot of people who go for the Warpless time. 5-1's just a lot of jumps. Make sure that you hit your jumps, hit the right lines so you don't get caught with an enemy. Other than that, very smooth. 5-2 is we're going to start to see some tough decisions get made. Are we going to attack that bullet bill at the start?
Sorry, we were having some sound issues, so I'm just trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Yeah, we're in 5-2. Spork, take it away here.
All right, so yeah, definitely. They both challenged the bullet bill. They got fortunate there. Both have fire, a couple jumps here. You got some hammer bros to go through here. Some very tricky shots coming through here. jtknott and London taking it beautifully. You get that jump right there. You want to hit that. Okay, beautiful job on the staircases. 345. Avoid the fireworks through there. And now we are on to bullet bill heaven, in my opinion. 5-3. You can get certain patterns. JT's got a very difficult pattern here. So those first two jumps were atrocious. What you're also going to see is, ooh, another nice dodge by JT. You have to hit that Goomba or hit that Koopa right there in order to make sure that that second platform does not despawn. And London having some fun with the bills there as well. Both runners got through there just about as fast as possible.
Alrighty, so you see both runners here in 5-4 doing the good bar strategy, and JT challenging the Potaboos, gets underneath both of them, and London taking a death spill into the lava near the first Potaboo, and that is going to give a significant advantage to JT. London will have to go back to the beginning of 5-4. If you're in any castle level, or if you're in World 8, there are no checkpoints if you were to take a death. So, go ahead, Spark.
The start of 6-1 here, you're going to see a jump go through here. That is going to despawn the first throw from the Spinies, so... sorry for a second, we got a couple of technical issues here, so...
All right, JT into 6-2, one of the more fun levels. This is where you get to snipe all the piranha plants out of the way. Meanwhile, London powering up in 6-1. There are two power-ups that are pretty comfortable to grab in 6-1, so if you're gonna take a death or lose fire, 5-4 is the place to do it because 6-1 has some comfy power-ups. And you see London grabbing the power-ups as JT is finishing 6-2.
All right, beautiful 6-1 right there for London through, and we are finally back on Syncticate. We're watching the same race again.
That's right. So, apologies for all the technical difficulties. Sometimes that happens when you go live, but we are in 6-3, and jtknott is going to try to avoid any potential bad bills. He's having a wonderful race right now. You do want to slow down a little bit in 6-3 because you can get a 256 on the timer, but he gets the 255 there, which is the optimal for jtknott. So meanwhile, London finishing up 6-2.
Beautiful job on 6-2 getting through there. So 6-4 here is going to be some tricky spots like 5-4. You're going to see JT play it safe here, not challenge that firebar or the Potaboo. These are very tricky. This is a callback to 1-4, just again, the Potaboos, the firebars, and you're going to see hammers for the first time. JT avoiding the lag frames that you can get with all of those sprites on the screen, and he is through World 6 now.
Yeah, meanwhile, London coming up through 6-3, looking to have a pretty solid 6-3, 255 on the timer. JT in 7-1. 7-1 can be kind of a fun level. There's especially if you have fire, of course. There's some hammer bros, but they don't bother you if you've got the firepower. The issue comes if you don't, but JT blasting his way through. No problems in 7-1. 352 on the timer is perfect.
All right, meanwhile, London making easy work of those firebars there in 6-4. He's going to come up. He is not going to get a couple early shots. He does get the lag, as you see it slows down there, so that will cost him just a little bit of time. But he is now on to World 7 as JT is getting into our second water level here.
That was quite a significant amount of lag there for London. That'll probably cost him at least a tenth, maybe 0.2 of a second with the amount that he got. JT in 7-2, it's a a reprisal of 2-2, but more bloopers, more fish, and always the dreaded bad blooper at the end of 7-2. You wouldn't happen to know about that, would you?
I'm going to sit out this section due to PTSD from, again, about an hour ago. So, yeah, no, these bloopers, if you get that one blooper at the end, right there, as you see, commentator's curse, that is Tekate's fault. You just have to wait him out. There's not much else you can do.
Blame the idiot bus commentator. It's okay. Meanwhile, London going into 7-2. JT will be going into 7-3, which again is a reprisal of 2-3, but more cheap cheeps. Also, they throw in some Koopas, so Paracoopas and regular Koopas here.
The beautiful thing about fire is you can fire kill these Koopas, so they're not an issue. If you don't have power up, you do run into the fact, ooh, jtknott takes the hit. If the cheap hits that Koopa, it will change the direction of the Koopa. So where you would think it'd be going towards you, you could just jump over it and land. Next thing you know, you're landing on that Koopa and bouncing off and falling right off the platform to death.
JT got the worst possible cheap. It is beatable. It's just almost impossible to beat. It requires, I think, a frame perfect jump and a frame perfect A release to beat that cheap. So really tough pattern there for him. He's going to be Small Mario going into 7-4, which is a maze level. It looked like he takes kind of a convoluted path through here, but he knows what he's doing. But the scary thing is he's going to have to go into World 8 as Small Mario only. We will see what he decides to do in 8-1. Will he play the any % strategies, or will he take it a little bit safe?
I will say JT is an accomplished any % runner, so his comfort level in World 8 as Small Mario should be there, but really depends on how you're feeling, where you think you might be in the race, if you're going to play it aggressive or not. And judging by it, I think he is going to go for it.
He's playing it safe.
Make it safe. All right.
So he may know where he stands. We'll have to ask him about it if we get him in for an interview later. But he decides to play it safe. And I think, oh, no, he hits the Koopa there and falls in the hole. This will definitely change the complexion of the race. JT still has the lead, but he's going to have to play it safe as Small Mario and hopefully not take another death. There are no checkpoints in any level of World 8. So if you take a death, you go back to the beginning of the level.
Yep, and that's what's going to make this the difficult part here. So, as you see it, London now has a distinct advantage with the fire. It's going to make the next 2 levels particularly less difficult. So, JT is going to be playing it safe here. Just kind of got to maintain composure. Just keep going at this point.
Absolutely, and London in 8-1 has not played a perfect 8-1, but he's still kept his firepower, and that could prove pivotal come the end of this race. JT having to avoid a 6 on the timer there, the 196 to avoid getting 6 fireworks. He gets a 195. London going to get a 198, so he will gain a little bit of time on JT and that level as JT goes into 8-2. All right, and JT decides to power up here in 8-2, so I think that's a smart decision. That'll allow him to take some damage and not in case he does get some kind of a bad pattern. But he will go into 8-3 as Big Mario and face the Hammer Bro Gauntlet instead of as Small Mario only. So it'll give him a chance to either take damage or if he doesn't take damage, he has the option of powering up to Fire Flower as well.
Yep, gonna play it through safe there, and I did not see London still going through, still has fire up there. Great job grabbing the power up there for JT. Hammer Bros are gonna behave as it looks like. Yep, he's gonna go through, and he is gonna maintain that power up at 8-4, which is crucial going into Bowser. That's gonna allow him a chance, if he can hold on to that power up till the end, to buffer through the hammer throw.
Yeah, definitely. And London actually grabbing 3 on the timer there. He didn't slow down enough, and he got 3 fireworks. So that's going to set him further back. JT, as Big Mario, should feel pretty comfortable. He's going to be able to take a hit if he needs to, whether he gets a bad cheap or decides he wants to play the firebar aggressive in the water section. He does get the wall jump, and now he goes into the turnaround room.
All right, coming up through here, you're going to see him stop and go down this pipe. The game wants you to take the next pipe down here. What he did is the screen pushed far back enough where going down this pipe will bring you to the next level without having to go to the next to it. It is a wrong warp, much akin to the infamous 4-2 wrong warp in any percent. Beautiful duck swim by JT. He is going to go through. He's just going to take a hop here. Hit the bro, get under. Ooh, he took the hit on the Potaboo. Let's see what happens here. Forward Bowser. He is done. 1949 for jtknott.
Yeah, because he was big. Even though he took the Potaboo, those iframes will get him through Bowser no matter what pattern Bowser gives you. So 1949 and 1959 for our two runners, 10 seconds apart. Really close race.
Yeah, that was just a fantastic race. And again, it just came down to the mistakes late. London taking that death in 5-4. JT lost the power-up, but solid World 8 play, even with the death. Yeah,
no doubt. And we do have JT here. So JT, congratulations on the win in 1949, but it wasn't without a little bit of maybe a mistake or two here or there, but you recovered nicely.
Oh, yes. 8-1. I saw the Koopa. I was so scared. I was like, man, I lost the race. I saw that London died. So that's what made me even more nervous. That could have been like a 1915 if I didn't die in 8-1.
Okay, so that was going to be the question that we had, JT, was, so you were watching London. You kind of knew where he was in the race.
Yes, I did. I don't know exactly where he died, but I know he died somewhere. Because, wait, did he die in... I feel like it was 5-4.
Yeah, he took a tumble in 5-4 at the Potaboo section before Bowser, but... yeah, you also got one of the worst possible cheeps in 7-3, I think it was.
Yeah, I saw that. In the bloop, too. I accidentally did an extra swim. The strat is you're supposed to swim at the top until the bloop goes away. But I accidentally did an extra swim. And so I thought the bloop was going to hit me there. And so that scared me. When I got hit in 7-3, that scared me even more. I don't even know what to say. Let me turn on my volume. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but yeah, I did basically exactly what I wanted to up till 7-2, and then it went downhill from there. But I still managed to win it. So.
Well, even then, it was a very tight race through. Then came down to really who minimized the mistakes more through there. Looking ahead to it, this is definitely your first run in the group stage. How do you feel about the group stage format that we have going on this year? You are in a very tough group along with Supersonic.
Yeah, Supersonic is probably going to be hard to beat. I feel like he's more consistent at stuff than I am. It's just that when I do no resets, it's always I have to mess up one thing every single time. And of course, 8-1 was the one thing I missed. But yeah, I basically just can't do what I did. And I could have waited in 7-3. I just thought about that, but I basically feel like I just can't mess up.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting group there, but you've got one win under your belt, and also you recently got a 1904 about a little over a week ago. So congratulations on that. That puts you in the 7th place all time currently. Just real quick, tell us about that PB run.
So basically, okay, I don't know if you saw the format. I'm sorry for the format. My old laptop broke, so I had to use a Mac, and so I had to point the camera on my TV screen, aka Taven Cam, aka Thelexino Cam, aka all that. So sorry about that, but I was going for Big Fire because I had always done Small Fire. If you remember last year, I did Small Fire, and I wanted to start doing Big Fire, and so I did. And like the first, maybe a few weeks before, I had a run 1905 pace died to Bowser because I got hit in 8-2. So I was pretty sad about that. Got a 1908 the same day. Same day. And just like a little thing about that run, the 1908, was the same run that, shoutouts to Leon Toast. He had a 455 run that died to wall jump room in the same run that I got to do. And, in the same day, I got a 1906, I think. And then a few days later, I got the 1904. 1904 basically got exactly what I wanted, except for a few frame roll losses, like 1-4, 3-4. But when I hit that axe, I cannot believe that I never thought I would beat Darbian in any category, and I beat him in Warpless, so.
Nicely done. So, that was quite the race between you and London. I do want to say, right now, looking at the schedule going ahead to the rest of this tournament, we do have a race scheduled on Monday between Mars and TJK. There's a race on Wednesday, several races on Saturday. So we got a whole lot of races coming up in this tournament. I'm sure more will get scheduled. So if you are in chat and you haven't scheduled your races yet, be sure to try to at least get one of your races scheduled in this first week and a half or so. Other than that, I wanted to say thank you to SpeedGaming for hosting the tournament. They have a great schedule of events, so make sure to check out all of the SpeedGaming channels 1 through 6, as well as the SpeedGaming channels in different languages. So, yeah, I think, let's see, Spork, any other final words here?
As always, I always want a big shout out to Rupert83 for putting on this whole tournament, and Takate, you helping out this year. This is a large undertaking, trying to get all of us together, get us organized, make sure we get our races in, especially with a group stage format. You're adding extra races to this tournament. It is definitely an undertaking, and it's really just the two of you guys. The other thing I always shout out, SpeedGaming, like you said, follow all the channels 1 through 6. Even if you're not the biggest Mario fan, thanks for watching, even though you're not. There's plenty of other things that you can check. So as of right now, the Mega Man 4 Cossack Cup is going on. That's going to be coming up at the top of the hour. So if you're into Mega Man speedruns, that'll be a fun one to watch. So.
Yeah, and not only that, but also Toad Heat, which is going on. There is so much going on. That is the Toad Heat is the Cossack Cup there. But yeah, that is coming up at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Also on SpeedGaming 4, there's a SMB 3 Rando weekly race. There is on SpeedGaming 3 Metroid Prime 2 Rando. All sorts of things going on at this time right now. So just a whole bunch of stuff going on in the SpeedGaming family of networks, and we are very thankful once again that they are hosting this tournament. This is several years in a row now that they've been doing this for us.
Just a fantastic job. All of the moderators, everybody that we talked to, Go Senpai was in for us today. These are all volunteers. I mean, they really don't have to do it. They take time out of their day to help us put this on. The effort that just goes into it is phenomenal. I'm just a guy who comes in, plays a video game, and then talks about other people playing a video game. So I am just in awe of the work that they do all behind the scenes. I will always say I'm forever grateful for them to give us this platform.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you to SpeedGaming. Thank you to Rupert. Thank you to all the runners as well, and all the commentators as well. We can't put on a tournament like this without everybody's participation. So I think that is going to do it. JT, once again, congratulations on the win, and GG as well to London. For the Elder Spork, I am Takate. That is going to do it for this edition of the SMB1 2020 Warpless Tournament. We'll see you on the next episode. Have a great night, everyone.
Stay safe, everyone. Love you all. See you next time.
Good night, everyone.